welcome back to the channel. This is Murray from Autoworks, and today we're going to be doing a build update on my FC. So quite a bit has changed since the last video I did on this thing. I think it's been around 4 or 5 years since I last did an update. And yeah, it has changed in appearance quite a bit. Right off the bat, you might notice I've switched body kits to BN Sports. So that was always kind of the goal for the car, have it really nice and wide and low. Well, finally got there after like 3 years of bodywork and paint process and fiberglassing, and this is how it's turned out. So this bumper is actually a Type 2 BN Sports for the FC. You can tell because it doesn't have like the headlight cutout here. So what I did is, well, funny story behind this thing, I actually bought it like 8 years ago when I was living in Vancouver, and I got it this and a rear bumper. It was missing the side skirts. It came out of some guy's shipping container. I got them for like 200 bucks, and it sat in my dorm room for like a year. And I eventually ended up selling it because I didn't have space for it. Fast forward 5 years later, at that point, I hit up the guy I sold it to. He still had it. Unfortunately, the rear bumper he had like cut apart, but the front bumper was still intact, so I bought it off of him. But what I did is actually slit this thing in half and dropped it and refiberglassed it in place. So it kind of looks like the Type 1 bumper with the cutouts. If you look at photos of like the BN catalog, you can tell kind of a difference. Type 2 obviously doesn't have the cutout, but it's quite a bit higher up, and the side skirts kind of taper up to that. So it's actually kind of meant to have the car like raked forward a little bit. So I wanted to make it look like the Type 1 kit, just not with the cutout. That was a lot of fussing around to get that to work, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out and how the bodywork went. So yeah, that's the front bumper. Lots of Bondo to make this thing look good. Like, there's all sorts of fiberglass filler in here and along here, and normal filler, of course. I think I did like 5 coats of polyester primer on this thing to get it to smoothen out. So tons of block sanding, lots of bodywork. But again, I think it turned out okay. The fitment's not bad on it, and yeah, that's the kind of front end of the car. As far as I know, the front bumper and the fenders are the only actual BN Sports products on the car. These I actually brought back from Japan brand new. So I got them shipped to my beautiful wife's house there, her family. It actually got shipped to her parents' hair salon there because BN Sports wouldn't ship to a residential address. We shipped them to her salon in Japan, and then Shiori's mom brought them home for me. So that was cool. When we went to visit Japan, I went and got them. They were delivered actually the week we got there, which was super cool. So yeah, these are brand new from BN. I just used Google Translate to contact them and figure out how to order them, and they were pretty accommodating and got them for me within the time I was going to arrive there in Japan. So these are about a plus 30, plus 35 from stock. So again, get the wide body out a little bit more and fit some bigger tires. So that was nice to do that. And then coming into the side here, these were a nightmare to fit. I basically ended up getting these for free. I got like a big Aero package for sale on Marketplace I found, and ended up parting out a lot of the stuff. They paid for what I paid for the kit, but I only kept the vented hood, the side skirts, and the rear bumper. Everything else I sold. So these needed a ton of work to get to fit nice. I actually ended up cutting these all the way down here and having to re-angle this up because this body line actually sat too low. So that was cut, fixed in position, re-glassed in place. I learned a ton about fiberglassing during this whole project, and I'm pretty okay with it now. Like, I'm confident doing it. It was definitely a learning curve. I like sat on this project for a year because I got so fed up with all the fiberglass work, but eventually got the motivation back and finished it. If we kind of move on to the back of the car, you can have a look here. This is where I spent a ton of time with this kind of whole build, if you will. So these rear arches, these are completely custom. They're all metalwork done by me. So I really wanted to make this car look like the Haraguchi BN Sports FC that he had back in the day. And one cool feature on his car was the kind of molded in or custom rear arches. So his were even wider than this. I think they were probably plus 60 mil. This ended up being around plus 38, plus 40 mil in the back on each side. So quite a bit wider than stock. Took a lot of time to kind of figure this out and get it to work. But this was actually just hand bent. Some really simple jigs I made on my workbench to be able to bend this piece into place. and I'm not gonna lie, there's a ton of filler in here to make this look nice. So lots of Bondo, fiberglass reinforced filler, and normal Bondo. Lots of sanding. Again, probably like 10 coats of polyester primer sprayed on here and then blocked down to get this to flow out and look even. I guess that's all part of the learning process. So yeah, I'm really happy with how these turned out. Added kind of the OEM body line in here, which a lot of bolt-on fiberglass over fenders don't really have. So this was added in. I really wanted to make it kind of flow into the kit. Doesn't exactly flow in perfect on this side. That's just how the bumpers come, but yeah, it's got that added in. When we were making it, Shori helped me. We just ran a string front to back right on the crease here. So I ran a string all the way along and then just took measurements off of the door and kind of adjusted this steel panel in and out and flexed it in place until it was even front and back. So I really wanted the car to be symmetrical and straight front to back with the over fenders. So yeah, that worked out pretty well. And happy how that turned out. Sourcing these was a hell of a time, but I did end up finding some locally. It's really hard to find S5 trim pieces here in BC. So lucky, thank you so much, Craig, for sending those to me. He's an awesome FC guy on the mainland. This is the part of the car where the paint laid down the nicest because it's the last piece I did. But it was the piece I didn't care about the most, so kind of funny how that works out. But again, this is just like a rep piece, so I'm pretty sure it's Duraflex or some other brand. BN style. Didn't need too much work to fit actually, like it was in pretty good shape. Did have like some pretty nasty damage here when I got it, so we filled that in and smoothed it out and it looks pretty good now. One thing I did add, if you look at here, Shio, there is some little adjusters in here to actually get this where it's supposed to be. So I made these little metal tabs and it's just got a slotted hole on there. So I can just loosen off that Allen key and you can slide it in or out and that'll adjust kind of where this sits. So I really wanted to get that even with the side skirt here looking down. So that just allows you to do that, and it does stiffen this up quite a bit here too. You can see I already hit a pretty nasty pothole and
in the dark.
Cracked that. Is it a little dark?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess that's how it goes, but yeah, that's done there. Fixed in place, so we did that on both sides. And, you know, all the same stuff on this side. So if you want to just do a walk around, have a look. I don't think I mentioned the mirrors, but they're just stock S4 Turbo 2 mirrors. A lot of people think they're something aftermarket, but they're not. They're just what came with the car from the factory. So I actually think they look kind of cool over S5 with kits like this. Really classic, boxy, kind of 80s look. Last thing I could mention on the exterior for body kit panel wise is the vented hood. So this is just like an OEM steel hood with a hole cut out in it, and then this is just an aftermarket fiberglass. I think they call it like a Dmax style vent, and that is actually panel bonded in place. So panel bonded, it was all filled, smoothed out, and blended in, and then painted. I did get some pretty nasty texturing here when I was painting it. I think there was a reaction between the wax and grease remover I used and the fiberglass insert here, and did have that issue in a few places on the kit, so I ended up just not using any wax and grease remover there on forward, and just wiping everything down with glass cleaner before spraying it. Alright, so a big part of the kind of refresh on the car and doing the new kit and paint was definitely wanted to have the dream wheels on the car. So I ended up finding some after searching for years and years. These popped up locally, but these are work equip anhelos. Okay, they're not Meisters. So these came in a 17, which is really nice. I didn't want to run 18s on the car. Just wanted to stay simple 17s for cheaper tires and that sort of thing. So yeah, this is a 17 by 9, I think plus 8 or something. Yeah, lots of dish in the front. I think it's a 3.5 inch lip, and no space or anything. It's just right onto the hub. The car does have PBM front control arms now, so that pushes out the stance quite a bit and gets some more camber. But yeah, that's kind of the front wheel setup. And if we go to the back here, these are 17 by 10 plus 11 or something like that. And yeah, just some cheap burner tires on the back. It's a 4-inch lip on the back. Was able to reuse the original barrels the wheels came with on the back. Front was a new barrel. But yeah, it's got nice flush fitment, kind of what I wanted. I actually refinished these two, painted black with a base clear paint. So yeah, that's the wheel setup. Quite a few changes under the hood for the new build or updated build. One thing you'll notice right away with the hood open is the giant V-mount intercooler setup in here. So if you want to bring the camera in and look at that, this is all new and added a few years ago just for cooling issues I was having at the track. So nice thick V-mount intercooler. If you bring the camera into the back here, this is actually the stock FC oil cooler, so I was able to make that work, and it keeps the oil temps in check nicely. And at the very bottom here, just look in here, this is just a nice thick rad at the bottom there, so they all kind of fit in there nicely and do their job quite well. Talk about the engine. That is basically a brand new forged engine as of last spring. So the old CA that was in here, it lasted quite a few years of track abuse and daily driving. I think I drove it for a good like 4 years, but it did get low compression. It was just a re-ringed engine when I rebuilt it. It was nothing special. So this new engine's being rebored 1/2 mil over. It's got supertech pistons and Eagle rods, fully balanced. It's a really nicely running engine now. It just purrs along and it's happy. So I also had the head refreshed at the machine shop. They put in new valve stem seals and just reground all the seats. It was just a really simple head rebuild. No porting or polishing or anything like that, just basic. A couple new parts I've added just for reliability's sake and anti-leak sake. There's a lot of leaks on the old engine. So to counter some of those, we added a Chase Bays power steering kit, and surprisingly, this is for an S13. Like all the lines fit except for you got to get one adapter for the steering rack. So almost a bolt-in affair, which is quite nice. I got this for cheap off a guy on Marketplace. So that's been installed. Did a catch can finally. I didn't have a catch can on the old engine, so this thing works great. Just a little radium catch can with a bracket I made to hold it off the brake master there. Yeah, went to an AM filter instead of my old Chinese filter, so this thing works. Same turbo, same manifold, still just an SR20 turbo, so not a lot of power or anything, just nice and simple. But that's all working good still. The top of the engine went to R8 coil packs because I was having breakup issues with the old ones, OEM ones, so made a nice little custom adapter plate to hold those onto the CA engine, and yeah, those work quite well. I think I had a blitz blow off on the old engine, so I went to a Greddy one, went to a proper like Greddy oil filter relocation plate. So I had like an eBay one before, but this thing's nice, no leaks or anything, it just works. So that was added. On this side as well, you can't see it, but it's got head drains, so that just helps on these CA engines with like crankcase pressure, because they have such a small PCV breather from the factory. So that helps with oil drain back to the sump, oiling issues. So yeah, that's being redone and it works great. Keeps everything in check, no weird issues with dipsticks popping out now. That's about it for kind of the new features on the engine. It's still running NIS tune, still my same tune as before. I just added a bit more fuel for the higher compression engine, but yeah, it's happy. Needs more power, do have a link for it, and a larger turbo, which will go on eventually. But for right now, I was able to just put everything together and street drive it for the summer, which was nice. So yeah, that's the updated CA in this thing. We're gonna look at the interior next. Not much has changed since the last video I made on this thing. The biggest change you'll see is the Saito roll cage was added, so I was really lucky to find this local for quite a good deal. So that got powder coated this matte black color, and I installed that. New steering wheel, brought that back from Japan on our trip as well. So yeah, nice to finally have a Nardi in here with a little bit of dish to it. So yeah, we picked that up in Nagoya at Super Auto Box and shipped it back. Got this ship nav at a random up garage near Tokyo, I think. Was that where it was from? Chiba?
probably cheaper.
Yeah, it's like the first day we were there. So yeah, added that. But I think everything's the same as before. Still got the same gauges in there and all that good stuff. Same switch panel and all that. So yeah, big change is the roll cage really. And rear strut bar too, that got added. So looking through the back, you kind of get a better shot of the 6-point cage. So yeah, that's just bolted to the rear strut towers here. And you also notice I added a Cork Sport strut bar. Just got this pretty reasonable price off a local guy, so that was added in. But yeah, besides that, the interior is basically the same as before. Still full interior. Wanted to keep that all as is, kind of OEM spec. So yeah, that's kind of the car. That's a tour.